Welcome back, everybody. Glad you're with us on this Thursday morning. This is Sunrise. The time right now is 6:37. Joining us this morning on Sunrise is Keenyn Wald. Keenyn is a clinical coordinator for Pines and Katy Hill Recovery Center. You're associated with community counseling. We want to talk a little bit about pain medications and heroin use and what you guys do. But Sunday is Valentine's Day. It's not a happy day for everybody. There's folks out there that may have lost somebody and they're reflecting back. Tell us how we can cope.
Well, you know, coping is one of those things that we often talk about, how to build coping skills, how to manage this depression, you know, and we often want to think about people either are depressed or they're not. And it really exists on this kind of timeline, or not timeline, but continuum. Yes, sir. And so when I think about what we can do to cope or what we can do to feel better if we're struggling, often it's reaching out to loved ones, reaching out to friends, even in advance, you know, what can I do this Sunday so that I'm not alone, or what can I do in remembrance of somebody that I recently lost. It's kind of thinking ahead, you know, rather than waiting until the day and then all that stuff kind of washes over us, and pretty soon that continuum kind of pushes up and it really starts to impact us. Yeah.
You really came to talk a little bit about the growing, it looks like more and more people are using prescription pain pills and then possibly transitioning to heroin.
Yeah, what we're seeing is, you know, the catchphrase you're going to see a lot is the epidemic. And earlier this month, the president you know, released information. He's going to challenge Congress to allocate $1.1 billion towards more treatment for prescription painkiller overdose as well as heroin overdose. The CDC really recently came out with some numbers saying the past decade we've seen 4 times more overdoses. There's over 28,000 overdose deaths due to prescription painkillers or heroin in the past.
And they're throwing them in the same bag?
They are, because they essentially are doing the same thing. They're both opiates or opioids, and what they do is they really latch on to the brain system, and so we will you know, we'll become dependent on it, and when we try and get off it, it can make us tremendously sick. And so the thing about heroin is it's cheaper and readily, you know, available in certain areas.
If people want more information, they can reach out to you at the Pines in Katy Hill.
Absolutely.
You told me that you have 44 beds helping people. 90% of those beds are filled. I want to thank you so much for coming by. Thanks for the great information.
Absolutely.
All right. Time now to turn it on over to Keith. He's got some more weather for us.